The sun comes up, the flowers bloom, the rain comes down, the flowers grow. People dancing everywhere,
The sun comes up again. The sun comes up, the flowers bloom, the rain comes down, the flowers grow. People dancing everywhere, the sun comes up again.
the sun comes up,
The sun comes up,
the flowers bloom,
the flowers bloom,
the rain comes down,
the rain comes
the
down,
flowers grow.
the flowers grow.
People dancing everywhere, the sun comes up again. I saw the sun peek through this morning from the window into my room. Welcome to the sun. I'll wake up fresh with a smile on my face, for the day has begun.
All you have to do is go,
Welcome to the sun. Welcome, welcome, this is our welcome song. Welcome, welcome, I hope you'll sing along. Welcome, welcome to the sky up above. Welcome to you. I'll stretch up high, then down to the ground. Now I'm ready for the day. I'll feed my body for energy and strength, so I can go and play. Welcome, welcome, this is our welcome song. Welcome, welcome, I hope you'll sing along. Welcome, welcome, the sky up above. Welcome to you. Welcome to you.
it is so good to be here. It feels like, I know it's just been 2 weeks because last week was a holiday, but it feels like forever. So I'm so glad you're back this Saturday morning. We said welcome to the sun. We know that behind the clouds, the sun is shining, except that we have quite a few clouds this morning and we've had a little bit of rain. So, but as we know from the very first song, the rain helps the flowers to grow. So good to be with you. Let's start with our song that we know. We changed the words, same tune. Good morning to you, good morning to you. It's story time on Saturday. Is anybody here new? Now, I couldn't tell. I saw some things flashing up on the screen. Is there somebody new here with us this morning? Bubba and Lucy, do you have a new baby? I couldn't quite catch that. So I get distracted. But if there's a new person to welcome to Storytime and a tiny little baby, I am so excited. Someday we'll get to meet each other. So let's sing that again. Good morning to you, good morning to you. It's story time on Saturday. Is anybody here new? If you've been here forever and ever, put up 2 arms and stretch. Fantastic. Okay, second verse. We have been working our way through this summer some classic fairy tales. So here's our classic fairy tale book, and I'm going to hold up and give you a clue about what we'll be reading about today. So here we go. Good morning to you, good morning to you. Before we get started, let's read a book or two. And today we're going to read about the three billy goats gruff. All right, last verse. If you would like to stand up, get your knees moving. This is my favorite verse. Here we go. Good morning to you, good morning to you. Before we get started, let's hop like a kangaroo. Hop, 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 hop. Let's do it again. Good morning to you, good morning to you. Before we get started, let's hop like a kangaroo. Hop, 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 hop. Fantastic. Okay, I think we need to do another song before we get going. And I think it would be fun if we do Hands Are for Clapping. Here we go. You ready? Ready?
Hands are for clapping, clapping to this song. Hands are for clapping, let's all clap along. Clap your hands. Now your toes. Toes are for tapping.
I'm not wearing shoes or socks.
Tapping to
But
this
you can't see
song.
my toes.
Toes
They're down
are
there,
for
they're tapping.
Let's all tap along. Tap your toes.
And you can stand up. What's next? I know. Ready?
Now with your fingers. Fingers are for snapping, snapping to this song. Fingers are for snapping, let's all snap along. Snap your fingers.
I can't snap with my left hand, only my right. And even that's not very good, but it's still fun.
Get a beat on your knees for
Okay,
this
ready?
one.
I like this one.
Knees are for slapping, slapping to this song. Knees are for slapping, let's all slap along. Slap your knees.
Last verse.
Now this one's good for you.
Second to last. Oh,
R for
that's
brushing,
fun. Ready?
brushing to this song.
Toothbrush.
Teeth are for brushing,
Gently.
let's all
Here we go.
brush along like this. Clap your hands. Hands are for clapping, clapping to this song. Hands are for clapping, let's all clap along.
Fantastic. All right. So today we are going to be. Whoa. We're not singing anymore. It's a good song though. The tempo marches on. We're not. But we are going to talk about some people who are on a little journey and they make some noise. We are going to be reading this morning The Three Billy Goats Gruff and some other really fun books about goats. And there are so many different versions. There is one in our big classic fairy tale book, Three Billy Goats Gruff. But I have to be honest with you. I chose this one because I think the pictures are absolutely adorable. So here we go. Once upon a time, there were three billy goats. And the name of all three billy goats was Gruff. So here they are. Aren't they cute? billy goats lived in a valley where there was very little grass and they were very hungry. They wanted to go up to the hillside to a meadow of green grass and daisies where they could eat and eat and eat and get fat. But on the way up, there was a bridge over a river, and under the bridge lived a mean and ugly troll. So we live in a place with lots of rivers and lots of bridges. But thankfully, we don't have trolls. First, the youngest billy goat Gruff decided to cross the bridge. Trip, trap, trip, trap, went the bridge. "Who's that tripping over my bridge?" roared the troll. So there's our first billy goat. Isn't he cute? And here's our troll. And I actually think this troll is kind of cute too. "Oh, it's only the tiniest little billy goat," said the first billy goat Gruff in his very small voice. "I'm on my way up to the hillside to make myself big and fat." "Oh, no, you're not," said the troll. "For now, I'm going to gobble you up." "Oh, please don't eat me. I'm too little. Wait for the second billy goat. He's much bigger." "Well, then go ahead," said the troll. So there's our first little billy goat. Look at his scared eyes. And here's our troll. After a while, the second billy goat came across the bridge. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, went the bridge. "Who's that tripping over my bridge?" roared the troll. Those eyeballs. "It's the second billy goat Gruff, and I'm on my way up the hillside to make myself big and fat," said the billy goat, and his voice was not so small. "Oh, no, you're not," said the troll. "For now, I'm going to gobble you up." Oh, please don't eat me. Wait for the third billy goat. He's much bigger." "Oh, well, go ahead," said the troll. And now he was very hungry. So we've got our second billy goat, medium-sized one, and we've got our troll. Just then, up came the third billy goat Gruff. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, went the bridge. And the third billy goat was so heavy, the bridge groaned and it creaked under him. "Who's that tramping over my bridge?" roared the troll. "It is I, the third billy goat Gruff," cried the billy goat, and his voice was as big and as loud as the troll's. "At last! Now I'm going to gobble you up." "Well, come along," cried the third billy goat Gruff. "I've got 2 big horns and 4 hard hooves, and I'm not afraid of you." And so, up climbed that mean, ugly troll, and the big billy goat butted him with his horns and stomped on him with his hooves and tossed him over the bridge and into the river below. And then he went up on the hillside to join his brothers. In the meadow, the billy goats got so fat they were hardly able to walk home again. In fact, they're probably still there. So snip, snap, snout, this tale's told out. And that is the end of the 3 billy goats Gruff. But we're going to go straight into our second story, and this is a longer story. And what is so fun about this story is we've been working our way through the fairy tales, and we've looked at Goldilocks, and we've looked at Little Red Riding Hood, and we've looked at Jack and the Beanstalk, and we've read, well, they're all going to come back in this story, and it's really exciting. And this story is called The Three Silly Billies. And the pictures in here are really beautiful. So it's a longer story. I promise we'll have a little singing, dancing break after this, but let's start. The three silly billies, if I can get that out of my mouth, the three silly billies were ready to kick up their heels and have some fun in the sun. And they packed up their old jalopy, and with a spit and a chug and a honk, off they tooted. Down the hill and through the woods went the three billies, until they came to a small wooden bridge that crossed a deep river. So here they go, and they've got their car all loaded up, and they're headed towards fun in the sun. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. "Who's crossing my bridge?" shouted a grumpy, stumpy little man who was blocking their path. So I've got to pause here. Look at him. "We're the Billies, Billy Bob, Billy Bo, and just plain Billy," explained the biggest Billy, who was Bob. "We've wrapped up and we're ready to roll." "Ah, hold your horsepower," said the little man with a stomp, and a snort. "This is Troll Bridge. I'm the troll. Now start passing the buck." "A buck?" asked just plain Billy. "Well, that's 4 quarters. That's 10 dimes. That's 20 nickels. That's 100 pennies. That's a whole $1. "This isn't a freeway," said the greedy, grumpy little man. "Just show me the money." Billy Bob had 30 cents, and Billy Bo had 20 cents, and as usual, just plain Billy had no cents at all. So no matter how they added it up, the three silly billies did not have enough money to pay the troll. So there they are. They're checking their pockets, they're counting things up, but they do not have $1. But the middle Billy, who was Bo, had an idea. "What we need is a carpool. We can share the fare." So Billy Bob opened the trunk, and Billy Bo pumped up the pool. And just plain Billy fetched some pails of water. With a splish and a splash and a slosh, the three silly billies grabbed their rubber duckies and jumped into the carpool. "We'll just wait for someone to jump in and join us," said Billy Bo with a bob. The troll grumbled, "Crazy kids," and he shook his head at their silliness and stomped back to the toll booth. Hold up. So it's kind of a play on words. They're going to try to come up with a carpool, and they actually have a pool in the back of their car. And then, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. "Who's crossing my bridge?" shouted the troll. "Oh, it's just us, the 3 bears from the other side of the river," answered Big Papa Bear. "We're taking a walk through the woods before dinner." "Oh, look here, Teddy," said the little man with a stamp and a stomp and a snort. "All you'll be eating is dust from detour du jour, unless you start coughing up some coins." And again, these pictures are wonderful. There's Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Baby Bear. Look at Baby Bear's shirt. It says "just right." And look, Mama Bear's got painted toenails. "Oh dear," said Papa Bear, looking into his wallet. "I only have 1 thin dime." "Oh my," said Mama Bear, peeking into her purse. "I only have 1 wooden nickel." And Baby Bear cried, "Don't count on me. I don't even get an allowance." And the troll grunted, "And take a hike." Mama Bear fretted, Whatever will we do? If we don't get home soon, our porridge will be cold. And I hate porridge, cold porridge, said Papa Bear with a worried sigh. Why not add your money to our money, blurted out Billy Bob. Just join our carpool so we can cross the bridge together. Makes a lot of sense to us, said Baby Bear. Where are my water wings? So Billy Bob added up the moolah, and Billy Bo held out the pot, and Papa and Mama and little Baby Bear jumped feet first into the carpool, and the water was just right. I still say that idea is all wet, mumbled the troll, and he shook his head at their silliness and stomped back to the troll booth. So look at this. We've got Mama Bear, and we've got Papa Bear, and we've got the three silly billies, and the ducks, and they're in the pool. Okay, so who do you think is next that comes across the bridge? Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Who's crossing my bridge? Shouted the troll. Oh, it's only me. You know who that is? Said Little Red Riding Hood. I'm on my way to Grandma's house. Well, you can kiss seeing your granny goodbye unless you have a bill in that basket, missy, said the little man with a stamp and a stomp and a snort. Can't you see the sign? Oh my goodness, what a big toe you have, sighed Little Red Riding Hood. What a big toe you have. But all Little Red Riding Hood could find in her basket was 1 crummy quarter, a gooey nickel, and 3 sticky pennies. Hey, Red, don't be blue, called out Billy Bob. Pool your resources with ours so we can cross the bridge together. Count me in, said Little Red, making a big splash. Ah, pitiful party animals, grumbled the troll, and he shook his head at their silliness and stomped back to his troll booth. There's Little Red. She's got her toenails painted too. Do you see that? They're really pretty pictures. And then, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Who's crossing my bridge? Shouted the troll. It's just Jack. Who's Jack? I'm bringing my poor mother some magic beans I traded for our cow. Beans? You need a reality check, Junior, said the little man with a stamp and a stomp and a snort. And the boy held out his hand. But all I have left are these beans and 2 pennies. Then hit the road, Jack, shouted the troll, spilling the beans into the river. Poor Jack didn't have a clue as to what to do. Don't worry, kiddo, called out Billy Bo. Put in your 2 cents over here. We've had Little Red Riding Hood, the 3 bears. We've had Jack and the Beanstalk. So, splish, splash, in jumped Jack, who plunged down his pennies and topped off the pot. And the troll stamped, and he stomped, and he stormed, and he stewed, and he snorted, and he cavorted until he was blue in the face. I want my money, he shouted. Give it to me now, now! Mama Bear raised an eyebrow at such behavior. You know, little fella, I think you deserve everything that's coming to you. And the troll snorted, so let me have it. Billy Bob looked at Billy Bo, who gave a nod to just plain Billy, who pulled the plug. Everybody out of the pool! Man overboard, cried Billy Bob, tossing the troll a spare tire. And as the grumpy, greedy little man glugged and gulped, Jack and Red and Papa and Mama and little baby bear waved goodbye and floated safely across the other side of the river, where they hurried home to meet their mother, visit Granny, and eat their porridge. The three silly billies turned over the pot and dropped every last penny, nickel, dime, and quarter into the troll's toll booth. Plink, plunk, clink, clank, clunk. Exactly $1. And across the small wooden bridge, they crossed the very deep river. On went the three silly billies for some fun in the sun. But then, clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Oh, who's crossing over my bridge now? Grumbled the troll with a soggy sigh and a gurgle. Just little old me, bellowed the giant with a sniff. Fee, fi, fo, fum. Is that a troll I smell? Yum, yum, yum. So that is a crazy fairy tale mashup. So we had all sorts of our favorite characters in a really long book called The Three Silly Billies. So a whole bunch of play on words like carpool. I thought that was really fun. But they did. They collected the money. They worked together. They got $1. They paid the troll. And off they went. Thank you for listening so well. So I think it is now time to do some more singing, some more dancing. And it's been a while. It has been a while. And let's see if I can find... I've got a lot of music now. I have to... I did. Are you ready? Let's do it.
Now this is called the Silly Dance Contest, where the silliest dancer is always the best.
Ready?
You just dance, dance, dance as silly as you please, and when the music stops, then you freeze. Dance any way you want to, dance any way you please, dance any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Hold that freeze as quiet as you can. And get ready for the Silly Dance Contest Round 2. Dance any way you want to, dance any way you please, dance any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Freeze. Like a statue. Now if you look silly, you're doing great.
Thank goodness. I always do.
And this time we're going to jump up and down
Ready?
as high as we can.
Careful.
Jump as high as you want to, jump as high as you please, jump as high as you want to, but stop when I say freeze. Stay frozen. Some people freeze with a silly face. And this time, let's dance as fast as we can. Dance as fast as you want to, dance as fast as you please, dance as fast as you want to, but stop when I say freeze. I told you that was fast.
Was.
But now here's the hard one.
Nobody believes it
Dancing
until you do it.
slow motion.
Ready?
Dance as slow as you want to. Dance as slow as you please. Take a partner. Dance as slow as you want to, but stop when I say freeze. One final round of the Silly Dance Contest.
Here we go.
Dance any way you want to, dance any way you please, dance any way you want to, but stop when I say freeze. And it ends with your arms stretched way up high in the air. And when the music gets lower, everybody
Pajamas.
shrinks a little lower.
Then
And lower.
waist, knee,
And lower.
and go all the way down.
And all the way down.
Fantastic. That's such a fun one. Okay, you guys are doing a great job listening and dancing. And I am trying to decide which one I want to do next? You know what? I'm going to do this one next. This is a super sweet book called Once Upon a Goat. And each picture in this book is full of interesting things to look at. First thing is, when you open it up, we know what goats are like, don't we? And how they like to eat everything. So look at this first page. And that's meant to be, isn't that cute? So this is called Once Upon a Goat. And before we get started, talk to your grown-up for just a second. What do we call a baby goat? Okay, so whisper in each other's ears. What do you call a baby goat? Okay, here we go. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a king and a queen wished for a child. Yes, but where would we put it? Said the king. Oh, next to the vase, on the hearth, naturally, replied the queen. Or beside the roses in the garden, the king added. Oh yes, perfect, agreed the queen. One day, their fairy godmother stopped by for a visit. Oh, tell me what you desire, she asked. We'd like to start a family, said the king. We're not particular, said the queen. Glowing skin, bright eyes, and hair like an ocean should do. So there's fairy godmother. Said their fairy godmother. A boy would be great, said the king, but any kid will do. Oh, of course, answered their fairy godmother. Look on your doorstep when the moon is full. So off she goes. And the next full moon, the king and the queen ran to the door. Oh, let it be a boy, said the king. With hair like ocean waves, said the queen. I'm not doing it. Here we go. Making you dizzy, aren't I? Bah, said the goat. Oh. I wanted a baby, cried the queen. Oh, it's my fault, wailed the king. I said any kid would do, but I never meant this. He is the cutest little guy. Reluctantly, the king and the queen brought their little beast into the home. Look on the bright side, said the king. We can still hold it like a baby. It has a goatee, replied the queen. We won't need to change its diapers, said the queen. Oh, that's disgusting, said the king. At least it loves the royal roses, said the king. That's it. It has to go, commanded the queen. I guess we're better off now, said the queen sadly. A stand had to be taken for the roses, replied the king. Of course, said the queen. That night it rained hard. Oh, it's not our fault. We were given a goat, said the queen. Not our fault at all, added the king. And yet I wonder if we were right to send the little fellow away on such a blustery night. That's a bit like last night, huh? When it rained and it rained and it rained. And there's the little goat and the frog. Clearly, he lacks the good sense to find shelter. I suppose he should just come in for a bit to dry off. He looks hungry, said the king. Maybe he could share a nibble or two from our meal. So they went out with their umbrella and they brought in the goat. It's late. We can hardly send him away now, said the queen. He shall have to stay in our room for the night. It's only for one night, said the king. One night turned into weeks, and into weeks turned into months. Look at all the fun that they're having together. And before long, their fairy godmother returned for a visit. Well, how is everything? Oh, wonderful, replied the king and queen. Perfect. Well, may I see the child? Isn't he darling, said the king. A blessing, said the queen. You must be joking, said the fairy godmother. It's a goat. Yes, left on our doorstep when the moon was full, just like you said. Oh, said the fairy godmother. I'll be back. Oh, dear. Look. Look who's with the goat family. The human baby. This is for the best, really. So fairy godmother kind of messed up. My sincere apologies for the misunderstanding. I'll just return the goat and that will be that. Wait, said the queen. Well, perhaps there is an alternative, said the king at last. Yes, I see your point, said their fairy godmother. Well, said the king, not exactly the family we wished for. No, replied the queen, better. So I think that's a really sweet book. I did do a very good job of holding up the book and showing you the pictures. There's a lot to look at in this book. A lot goes on. But I just really like the ending. Not exactly the family we wished for. And the queen says, better. So I think that is super, super, super sweet. All right, it is past time. Oh my goodness, it is after 11 o'clock. We have read The Three Billy Goats Gruff, and then we read The Three Silly Billies, and then we read Once Upon a Goat. And there was one more book I thought about doing. Should I go on? I never know. Would it be okay if I read one more? This one's super sweet. This is called Grumpy Goat. Okay, so if you need to go and play, whatever, you can go and do that. I'm just going to keep reading. I really like this book. Super, super, super fun, super sweet. Okay, this is called Grumpy Goat. And hopefully I'll hold up the pages better. Sunny Acres was once the friendliest little farm in the county. until the day that Grumpy Goat arrived. So you can see him over here. There he is. And there's the farm. So it's called Grumpy Goat. Goat had never had a single friend in his life, and he didn't want one now. He was hungry and he was grumpy, and he didn't want to share. When the pigs invited him to play, Goat chased them off. Cow came to say hello, and she left quickly. And the sheep just stayed away. Goat never looked up at the blooming flowers or the green leaves or the bright sky, and he never noticed the cool breeze or the warm sun. He just kept his head down and he scowled and he ate. You really have to look in this picture. He is there. You see him there? See him scowling, keeping his head down? Where are the other fun ones? He kicked down the garden fence and he kept eating. And after finishing the cherries in the orchard, Goat kept going. But on the top of Sunrise Hill, I want you just to look at that page for a second. Do you see what Goat sees? Goat stopped. What he saw reminded him of something, but he couldn't think what. He sat still and he watched for a while. And Goat noticed that the ground was getting a little dry, and he got some water and then he carefully trimmed the grass. Goat came back the next day, and the day after that, and he watered and he trimmed and he sat and he watched. One curious sheep climbed halfway up the hill, and Goat eyed her suspiciously, but didn't chase her away. And the next day, Cow wandered by, and Goat let her help trim the grass. And the day after that, the pigs dropped in for a game of tag. Each evening, Goat lay down to sleep on the top of the hill, and each morning he woke up looking forward to seeing his friends again. Until one day. A breeze began to blow. The breeze is blowing right now in my house. You can see the page blowing. And there was nothing that Goat could do. The pigs came by, and Goat did not feel like playing, and so they sat with him for a while. Cow brought some nice hay, but Goat wasn't hungry. The sheep didn't know what to do, so they stayed nearby. I like that. They didn't know what to do, but they stayed nearby. Goat spent long, lonely days and chilly nights on the top of the hill, But his friends stayed close, and they visited often. Until one day, look, look. All summer long, Goat was happy to be at Sunny Acres, once again, the friendliest little farm in the county. And that, I think, is a book for grown-ups and for kids. But I think that's a beautiful book. And so I'm not going to say much more about it. I think it speaks for itself. It's called Grumpy Goat, and I think it's a fabulous little story. It is way over time. You've done such a great job listening and singing and dancing. I've not done such a great job holding up the book so you can see the pages. I think I was a little out of practice. So no more holidays, no more days off. I will be back here next Saturday. I hope you will too. I'm going to have to go back and look through the messages. I can't really pay attention right now, but if congratulations is in order, congratulations. I miss seeing you all, but I know that you're out there. And it's always good to be together. So we're going to go out on a song, and the song is, oh, you can, coming up. See you next week. Got one more fairy tale, I think. Is that right? I think so.
My whole world in this chair. My whole world in this room. My heart is open. There's nothing we have to do. 'Cause everything I need is right here. Everything I need is right here. Everything I need is right here. Everything I need is right here now.
This one's a good one too, but they wore hats and gloves and it made me feel hot.